to your daily dose of dragon feather, my darlings. We have some little dragon friends here. We are doing a really chill stream today. So we are going to get started in 1 second, but let us bring TikTok on the live with us in 3, 2, 1. Merry meet and welcome everybody over on TikTok. We are live here on TikTok and YouTube for a very cozy Q&A. Okay, my friends, we're just here to do Ask a Dragon Witch anything, okay? So you guys are more than welcome to ask me any questions you have about being a draconic witch. You could ask me anything that's not about draconic witchcraft. You could literally ask me anything. Jessie, peace to you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining your daily dose of Dragon Feather, Rebel Child Witchery. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. My friends, thank you for joining. Leia, thank you for joining your daily dose of Dragon Feather. Thank you for the likes. You guys are so sweet. But today, again, we are just going to do, you know, just the Ask a Dragon Witch anything, okay? And when the dragons want to come out today, I will do some readings too. I have a really cute selection of decks today. So we will be pulling some cards throughout the stream if you guys are interested in some free readings, because you know that's how we roll here on this. I'll show you guys the decks I'm using today. Are you guys excited? So we have this one today. This one is called the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Have you guys seen this one? It's one of my absolute favorite cards. Hey bestie, love you, Red Tintin. Welcome to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. It's so good to see you. We have the Dreams of Gaia Tarot today. So I love this deck, okay? One of my favorite decks, okay? If you guys are into Celtic magic, into druidry, into mythical creatures, especially dragons and fairies, you are gonna absolutely want to grab this deck. So definitely grab one. Thank you so much for joining, Alex. Good to see you. We also have, of course, the Star Dragon Oracle with us today. It's another one of my favorite decks. And we also have the Sea Melodies Mermaid Messages. So we will definitely be pulling some cards in a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, text me the name of it, please. I missed the name of it. This one is called The Dreams of Gaia. Yes, I want to get the Star Dragon deck one day. It is so good. I definitely recommend. It is one of my favorite decks. I'm literally just loaded with dragon decks right now. Do you guys want another one? Here, I have some more actually on this table. We have the Dragon Path Oracle as well. We did this one a little bit a while ago, I think. Audette, hey! Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And then we also have the Dragon Wisdom Oracle deck. Okay, this is another good one. These are not by any means my full list of tarot decks. These are just the ones that I have on my bedside, or my desk, I should say. But let's talk about witches, because like that's my favorite thing to talk about, right? Oh my gosh, is your name Pickle Rick and Mo? Oh my gosh. Pickle Rick and Mo, thank you so much for joining your daily dose of Dragon Feather. For those of you guys who do not know, one of my dragon guardians likes to be called Pickle Chips. That's like his nickname. I don't know why, he's a weird one. It's so funny. I just don't really know. But here's the thing, you guys. What are witches, right? So witches are people who are those who cast magical spells, or they raise magical energy, right? Now, stereotypically speaking, most witches do not work with dragons. That's just, it's pretty uncommon for people to work with dragons in a spiritual sense, if you guys did not know. But let me tell you something about dragon witches. Dragon witches are the witches who work with dragon spirits either exclusively or very much, what's the word? Or primarily, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you guys so much for joining the live. You guys are so sweet. So here's the thing. We work with dragons for a very specific reason. And you can ask any dragon witch, and I guarantee you their answer will be the same. You ask them, why do we work with dragons? We work with dragons to have the courage to continue, the courage to face our fears, the courage to overcome our shortcomings, okay? We also work with dragons to overcome trauma, to become the best versions of ourselves, to evolve ourselves to the highest possibilities. Do you know what I mean? It's really, really special, like really special to work with dragons. And this is something that like I just really want to like let more people know about, you know what I mean? Like it's so much fun to work with dragons, and anyone can work with dragons, okay? Like you don't have to be a witch to work with dragons. You can be a Christian who works with dragons. You can be a Muslim who works with dragons, okay? Like most people who work with dragons don't even worship them, which is a very common misconception, okay? Is that do dragon witches worship their dragons, right? Most likely no, actually. Most of the dragon witches in this world don't worship them. I know, that's kind of like a very, what's the word? It tends to surprise a lot of people who don't work with dragons, because most people will, if they're practicing witchcraft, I should say, they work with like deities, right? They'll work with like, for example, like Egyptian deities or Greek deities or even their ancestors, right? Most people do not work with dragons. And when we work with dragons, we don't hold them way higher than who we are, right? Like dragons for most dragon witches are literally going to be like some of their best friends, okay? A lot of the people who work with dragons are working with dragons because they help them have a better life and that they feel so connected. Thanks for following, Z. That's really sweet. I appreciate you. I only work with spirit through mediumship. See, there you go. Thank you for the follow, my friends. You're so sweet. Oh, thank you. You love the hat? This is the horns. I kind of wish the horns went like this, though. Wouldn't that be sick, though? Wouldn't that be sick if I added some, like, if I added some wire, I could do it. What's a good offering for a fairy dragon? Ellen Bennett, that is a great question. So one of the best offerings that you can give a fairy dragon is to take better care of yourself and your space. Cleaning, I know, this is not what you wanted to hear. Cleaning your space literally helps you so much, okay? Like, you don't understand how much a fairy dragon will appreciate you offering them a clean space and taking better care of yourself. What I mean by this is making sure you do your best to brush your teeth every day and to shower as much as you can and to, you know, take up your trash when you're done. Like, you don't want to see my desk. It's definitely not fairy dragon friendly, right? But Mythic's Faye, I have the same plushie. Oh my god, I love this dude. He's so cute. Isn't he so small? I'm obsessed with him. He's so cute. He's so cute. But anyway, where did I get this hat? Dragons are boss. You got it, Lily King. Or Lily King 1010. Thank you for asking. I got this hat at Hot Topic. Like, I want to say I got this hat at Hot Topic in like 2014. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. It's been a long time. I love dragons so much, dude. Same. Dragons are literally my everything, okay? So, well, surprise, dragon witches are real. I know. I love that so many people don't know this. It really breaks my heart. Thank you for following, Seemingly. So let's talk about this, okay? How to train your dragon type moment. 100% XZS4TC. I am so sorry if I butchered your name. Thank you for joining your daily dose of Dragonfeather. But hey, Harmony, finally caught one of your lives. Hell yeah, I'm so glad you made it. But here's the thing. We work with dragons for many reasons, but ultimately it all boils down to the same thing of having a better quality of life, becoming a better human being, and doing the best that we can in our life, of just evolution, you know what I mean? So it's actually really, really important for us to just kind of remember what makes a dragon witch, right? So like what is a dragon witch and what separates dragon witches from all the other types of witches? And it's really straightforward. It's in the name, man. Like, we work with dragons. That's what makes you a dragon witch, okay? But you don't have to identify as a dragon witch if you are a witch and work with dragons. So there's a little bit more that goes into it, right? So when we work with dragons, okay, we focus on them specifically, or we take them as our primary spirit team, right? So many people who are dragon witches will work with dragons in many different ways. There's no right or wrong way to do this, okay? Duavo, I identify as dragon, so do I. Welcome to your daily dose of dragon feather. Good to have you here. Okay, I'm just gonna like really like make this like as basic as I possibly can. The dragons, okay, they are real if you believe in them. It's really simple. If you don't believe in the dragons, you're not gonna see them, okay? People, whoa there, cowboy, it was a joke. I would love to say what you said on live because it's hilarious. I love your jokes. Love it, love it, love it, but I will get demonetized if I say that. Have you seen a dragon? Yes, I have. And I have seen dragons in many ways, right? So it depends. I'm assuming that you mean like in real life, right? Yes, I have seen a dragon, but I see it with my third eye or my first eye, as some people will say. It's very much like a psychic sense, right? Like you're not gonna see dragons like, you know, like you see them in Game of Thrones or like you see them in How to Train Your Dragon or anything like that. So there's like many different ways that you can see a dragon, but like the whole entire point is like when we work with dragons as dragon witches, and what makes a dragon witch is by literally following the dragons mostly 100% first, right? Like, you know, I can still be like a witch who works with dragons, but like if I follow, say, Hecate more than I do the dragons, then I would probably be considered a devotee of Hecate, right? For me, dragons come in forms of little spirits. I love watching them have fun. Alex Zapp, that's so sweet. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's beautiful. I've seen dragons too, though. That's amazing, dude. See, I'm telling you guys, like dragons are so powerful, and they would absolutely love to have you in their space, and they would love to join you, okay? Let me tell you some misconceptions about dragons, right? A lot of people think that they're big, bad, and scary, and that like you have to be like really super strict to work with them. While discipline is important and dragons are very protective spirits, most are just literally hanging out, having fun, right? We love Jesus on this channel, by the way, so we get a lot of like Jesus is king stuff on this channel, but I just want you guys to know Jesus is amazing. He has great teachings. He wasn't God, he was a prophet of Allah, but what we will say is that he has some great words of advice for if any of you guys want to learn how to do manifestation, any of you guys want to master your mind, and anyone who is interested in like alchemizing their life into reality. I definitely recommend checking out some of Jesus's teachings. Peace be upon him. But anyway, when I meditate, I connect with them. Yes, I love that. I love that. There's so many ways to connect with dragons too. Like you have to understand, like you need to know that there's no right or wrong way to work with dragons. There's no right or wrong way to connect with them. There are simply methods that I'm going to recommend more, or I'm going to discourage you from trying. Like, I don't think you should work with dragons in the sense where you completely make up your practice all by yourself, which is called unverified personal gnosis. All that means is that there's no way to relate what you're experiencing, or there's no way to verify what you're experiencing or the beliefs that you hold in your practice within mythological context or historical context, okay? So that's really like the only thing that I really would say is the most important thing to focus on when you are doing a very like intuitive based practice with the dragons. Most people do follow the dragons as their guardians or as their teachers, and they do what the dragons tell them to do within their practice. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying that when you're working with dragons, because these are creatures from mythology, and a lot of these dragons also come from like genuine pantheons or like religions from ancient cultures, so it's really important to not bring them out of their cultural context. And it's really important to just approach them with respect and understanding. And it's a really good thing to basically, the best thing that I could say is just like be respectful and honor the dragons as much as you can. You know, that's really it. I have a dragon crest that I got from slaying it. Oh, are you talking about video games? Because that is not what we do here. And the Lightbringer, of course, and Aphrodite, Shattered Starlight. What a beautiful name. I work with the Fae and Loki and Azrael and Lilith. Yay! Those are amazing people to work with, or deities and spirits to work with, I should say. And dragons understand when we want to branch out for knowledge too. Yes, they do, Harmony. I don't know why people really like keep forgetting that. Like dragons want you to expand your knowledge, right? Dragons want you to work more. Dragons want you to what's the word? Dragons want you to learn, bitch. um, yes, I do. I have so many blue eyes white dragons. You don't even understand. Like, oh my gosh. JF09 asking the real questions in the chat right now. But it's really important to remember that the dragons are not like gonna control you. Like, they're not gonna tell you who you can and can't work with. That's not real. That's just not real. Are dragons elemental? Yes, some are. Some would be considered multiple different kinds of elementals. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But some dragons would be considered like multiple, right? They're like multiple elements, right? So some can be earth, water, and chaos, or some can be, you know, maelstrom and magic, or some can be like, you know, wood and earth and water. Like, it really just depends, right? Like, any kind of dragon that you connect with is really just gonna depend, okay? So the best thing to do when working with dragons to find out which elemental they could be is to 100% ask them first. But I mean, it's just something that you should do, you know, like with any spirit, of course. Like, you just ask them and be really like respectful about it. You could do divination and ask them to show you a card that helps you understand what elemental they are. How can I summon a dragon with water, chaos, magic, fire, and air? We don't summon dragons, okay? So like, let me talk about this, because a lot of people think that you can summon dragons. The best way that I'm going to be able to describe this is if I actually answer Darn Guy's question first. He says, could you explain concretely what dragons are? Thank you very much for asking, because I think that there might be a lot of people in the chat who are confused. Dragon Mother, oh my gosh, it's good to see you, love. Thanks for joining the live, and thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. It says, I used to follow you on YouTube. Glad to see you're still on socials. Hell yeah. I was kind of like totally gone from the internet for a while, but I'm super back now and super better. And so I'm really excited. How would I learn as someone who has no idea about any of this? Mildrisk, thank you so much for asking. I 100% recommend anybody who's watching who wants to learn more about dragons to absolutely click the link in the description here on YouTube, the first one, or in the link tree over here, and follow the Hatchling Clan Discord server. And we are talking about dragons there all the time, and we have all of these links for you to resources that me and the mods and other members in the Hatchling Clan have worked really hard to put together for you guys. So you guys have at least a place to start, okay? Because we always recommend to do your own research, right? But there's all those resources there for you, because we always start with mythology when it comes to our spiritual practices. But anyway, we have this question was, what is a dragon concretely? So everybody knows. Best way I can describe a dragon is a guardian spirit that is made up of all of the elemental energies. Okay? No hate, curious, but exactly what is your religion? I mean, I believe in God. So do with that what you will. But anyway, I love you. I followed you on YouTube for years. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for the follow. We would love to have you in the Hatchling Clan Discord server if you are not there already. But anyway, the dragon spirits are no different than any other spirits. They are light vibrational. They are energetic vibrational beings of light energy. Just like an angel, just like a unicorn, just like deities, just like our ancestors, if you will. Do you identify as a unicorn, dear? No, I do not. I actually identify as a dragon. Thanks for asking. The dragons bless you with wings. Yes, you just can't see them because I'm human. I know. Very, very disappointing. I wish I could just go and like break out the wings, but that is not how that works. Yes, life treats me very well, thankfully. We changed our tax bracket this year with the dragons. Thank you. But anyway, how to make a lot of money with the dragons will be another topic for sure. You are just very, very welcome, my friends. I miss my dragon father. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I do too. My dad actually watches these streams a lot, and he literally will jump in, and we all call him dragon father. It's awesome. Can a dragon have an iced coffee? Yes, you can offer an iced coffee to your dragon. They actually might really appreciate that. They might really, really appreciate that. No one believes me, but I was actually raised by a dragon. Ooh, are you Natsu? Have you guys seen Fairy Tail? Love that anime. It is so good. I don't want money. I want a person named Devin. Why was that so funny? Shattered Starlight. Oh no, that's so funny. As long as it's not Starbucks coffee. Yeah, that Dragon Witch, you right. You right. By the way, guys, we're gonna be having that Dragon Witch on as a guest at the end of the stream over here on TikTok. So you're definitely not gonna want to miss that. I'm gonna bother her, okay? I'm gonna bother her. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna ask her too many questions. You guys are gonna have so much fun. Are you ready? Cecilia, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna bother you. I see Dragoness. It's so good to see you. Hello, hello. Who is Jesus to you? He is one of the best teachers, spiritual teachers maybe ever to live, right? But Jesus is a prophet of God. Thank you so much for asking. We love Jesus on this channel. We're gonna be making more Jesus content. I know that might scare some of you guys, and it might be really exciting for a lot of you guys, but Jesus is awesome. I don't know why people are like, ugh. I think Jesus is a shaman. I think it's very possible. I wasn't there, right? Like, so I never met Jesus. Like, all I know is based off of like mythology and like history, and like the best resource we have is, what's the word? The best resource we have on Jesus, peace be upon him, is the Quran. So there's that. I know that might be a lot for some people. How does dragon energy differ from other energies? Jam, thank you for that question. That's a great one. The best way I can describe how dragons are different from other energies is they are absolute, in the sense that when you encounter a dragon, they essentially envelop everything. They enclose all of the energy, right? So are you a Christian witch? Ice Flame, great question. No, I'm not. I just believe in God as a witch. And people like to label me, I guess. But I'm a dragon witch if you ask me. I'm a dragon witch who believes in God. It's very complicated in my brain sometimes. My dragon's name is Johnson. Don't be saying things like that. You're very cheeky. You're heavy on the geeky, cheeky, and freaky for this person in my comment section. So yeah, dude, like the best way that like you know it's a dragon, like you're gonna first notice that their absolute presence is everywhere. They're not just like here, there. When you encounter a dragon, it's like that's all you can experience is the dragon. And the second thing I'm going to let you guys know about dragons is that you will know it's a dragon when you sense a elemental force. Like, I'm not just saying just a water elemental energy. I'm not saying just like even a combination of like two, like earth and water or something like that. All the dragons that I have encountered and how I have grown in my practice over 20 years working with dragons in witchcraft. But here's the thing, like what I've learned, okay, what I've learned is that they bring all of the elemental energy with them. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when I work with fairies or when I work with, you know, other mythical creatures, or when I work with even deities, they don't feel like that. They don't feel like I'm talking or communing with all of the elements, right? That's not how it works, right? I'm always curious on doing magic as dragonkin. I see dragoness. It's one of my favorite things in my life. Like being dragonkin, practicing dragon magic is literally the only reason why I'm still standing today. All glory to God. That's pretty much how we roll here. By the way, this is rose milk tea. It is so good. Did you just wear that hat, or are those your real horns? They are my real horns, brother. Ow! No, it's a hat. Camilla, you're cracking me up. I know you're just trolling me, but I'm loving it. Can a dragon be a spirit guide? Yes, it can be. For someone like me, I would say like all my dragons are my spirit guides, right? Like I would say my primary dragons are my spirit guides and all of that, right? So, oh, that sounds good. Yes, yes, you can. But greetings, darling. I'm glad to see you again. Good to see you, Sahmet. But also, yeah, I like carving sigils with your claws. Hell yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh, when I get like my nails done, like I have to get stilettos because it makes me feel like a dragon every time, every time. Um, but yeah, I love carving sigils with my nails onto my candles. Like that feels so dragon witch coated. I can't even function about it. But we are going to just continue on with the stream for about an hour or so before we're gonna hop off of YouTube and go strictly over to TikTok to hang out with another Dragon Witch content creator, the one who created the Dragon Witch Talk hashtag, and who helps me with the Draconic Arcana server, Discord server, which is just for dragon witches over on TikTok. But any dragon witch, of course, is welcome. It's the official Dragon Witch Talk server, but it's so much fun to hang out with you guys. Hi, can you tell me if Lilith is interested in me? I mean, honestly, Lady Lucifer, if you found your way to my page, then I'm gonna say yes. Because like with all of the like gods and goddesses and dragons and mythical creatures that I work with, we have a very hands-on relationship with my technology. I don't know if any other like creators are like this. I can't speak for other creators, but for me, we work constantly on making this the technology work in their favor, and they use it and they use my profile as a portal to help you guys make it to them, if you will. That's why I do what I do. So I hope that helps. Larry, are you Irish? Yes, I am. Thanks for noticing. I literally am also Welsh, okay? And if for those of you guys who don't know, Wales is the only country with a dragon on their flag. Love it. Okay, anyway, it says, Neptune, do you believe in like spiritual entities like ghosts? Yes, I also help them cross over. Okay. People, whenever something goes bump in the night, they put me at the front of the creepy stuff. Yeah, I'm the one who's like, be gone, okay? As a dragon, Lilith and Lucy are mother and father. That's really cute, Sekhmet. I love this. This is very, very sweet. Thank you for sharing. That's really sweet. I don't want to cry. Okay, all of your guys' like dragon stories, like your dragon self or dragonkin stories, like literally make me cry. Like sometimes you guys will message me these things, or sometimes you guys will share your stories in the Hatchling Clan Discord server, and I'm literally just like, you guys are the like literal most beautiful people. I mean this earnestly. Do you think you are a dragon, or what's the deal there? Nice and not rude way. Thank you, Ice Flame. Let's talk about it. I think I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon, 100%. But do I believe that I'm really a dragon? What's going on here? Icy Flame asking, wait, is that your name, right? I don't want to mess up. Ice Flame, excuse me, Ice Flame. Asking the real questions on today's stream. Am I really a dragon? Do I really think I'm a dragon? Do I really think I'm a dragon? Yes, I really think I'm a dragon. But let me tell you something. See this? This right? This is a human hand, okay? This is a human head, okay? Yeah. I know I am 100% a human being embodied, right? Embodied. But the way that I view it is that I am simply a dragon spirit having the experience of a human. Some people believe in a sky daddy. That's cool. I think that's chill. Do you know what I mean? But here's the thing. I'm allowed to have this thing called religious freedom. Yeah, I know, it scares all of you. But here's the thing. I am very much a sane individual. We've been tested, okay? The brain is fine over here, all right? The difference is that I experience my practice. Oh, hello. Hi. I wasn't ready for that. My fiance is a lot. Anyway, I digress. So basically, yes, I believe I have the spirit of a dragon embodied into a human, okay? So here's the thing. This just means, yes, dragon on the inside 100%, but human on the outside. Icy Dragoness, that was like the best way to describe it. You literally took the words I could not say right out of my mouth. Because that's the way it is, right? Like a lot of people believe that they are entirely dragons or entirely fairies. And like I just want to like gently remind people that we are human, okay? Like what makes us human, we're here trying to figure that out together. but we're all humans, okay? And it's okay to be a human. It's okay to just be a human. I know that's not really exciting, you know, but like this is why we do the thing that we do, right? Because here's the way that I find it, right? The only reason why I have the experience that I have in my life or in my practice is because ever since I could remember, I have been dragon-like. You know what I mean? I've been very much like, you know, and people can say whatever they want to about my mental health. You guys are totally entitled to your opinions, right? But like, I have been through a lot of things, okay? Like, you guys are welcome to speculate in the comments section because you're gonna do it anyway. But like, this has just been a way for me that I've always experienced the world, right? I've always experienced the world feeling like I was a dragon stuck in a human body. And as I grew up, I found the otherkin community and it really, truly helped me. And shout out to Anthony Padilla for using my videos as an example when he covered otherkin and he mentioned my content for dragonkin, and that literally was like the greatest thing ever. So there's that. Do you crochet dragons? No, I do not crochet dragons. So you are a furry. I am not a furry, actually. I don't like dress up as a dragon in a dragon costume. I just wear the horns on my head. You feel me? And like, I don't have anything, how do I say this without getting demonetized? Basically, I don't do anything like that with dragons, okay? Like, that's do you wear the horns at work? This is my job, my friends. Mostly, you know what I mean? But yes, I do wear the horns to work sometimes. They love it at the agency, I will say. And I love your dragon energy. Yes, Ariana, am I saying your name right? It's so good to see you again. How have you been? And I love that. Okay, I have to tell you guys, okay? I'm gonna pull a card and see if the mermaids will let me share this secret with you guys tonight, because it has to do with dragons. Let's see. Will the mermaids tell me? Let's see. Let's do azurite. This is my favorite crystal. This is a fairly like low grade piece of azurite. It's just sitting on my table. But this is what my name is based off of, AZURA. My dragon guardians gave me the magical name AZURA Dragonfeather before I even knew that azurite was a crystal. It blew me away. So we're just gonna and see. Can I share this? The mermaids know what I'd like to share with you guys, but can I share this secret with the hatchlings and all the viewers today? Wild, believe in your otherworldly beauty, dance with the waves and drink in the sunshine. Yes, they said of course I can. Big troll gang in the house, y'all. Oh wait, everybody stop, everybody stop. Wait. Ready? Big troll gang in the house, y'all. Big troll gang, big troll gang. Big troll gang in the house. Yeah, I know. That was cringe just for you. Welcome back to your daily dose of Dragonfeather. I love it. I love your name. It's awesome. Hi, I love your videos. Will you please shout me out? Bonnie, welcome to your daily dose of Dragonfeather. Thank you for joining us. Okay, we have one. So please explain to me how you feel like you are a dragon in a human body. Yes, of course, Gabino. When we are dragonkin, which is how I identify, I feel like a dragon in the sense that like I'll experience shifting, right? So let's talk about shifting for a second. Shifting is something that I experience as dragonkin, not a dragon witch. So not all dragon witches are going to be dragonkin, okay? Troll gang, don't be talking about that in the comment section. I can't be getting trolled that hard in the comment section. Are you a witch? Yes, I am. I'm a dragon witch. Thanks for asking, Sal, and welcome back to your daily dose of Dragonfeather. It's good to have you here. I love your style. It's so pretty and cute. Thank you, Bonnie. You're so sweet. But let's see. The best way I can describe is the shifting, right? So sometimes depending on how just I go about my day, like I'll feel like wings, like that aren't there. It's called phantom shifting, right? Or the way that I'll experience dreaming, for example, is whenever I dream and I remember my dreams, I'm not human ever in my dreams, like pretty much ever. Like I used to be more often when I was a kid, but nowadays my dreams, I am always a dragon or in my dragon form. Like this is how I experience being a dragon in a human body, right? And so I'll also go through what's called psych shifting or psychological shifting. And basically what this means is not always, but sometimes I'll feel like I have like the emotions or the psychological aspects of a dragon. Or I will express myself in a way that's more dragon. But the best way that I could explain this is that okay, let's see. The best way that I could explain this is that like as dragonkin, like I feel more closely related to dragons than I do humans. Like my family are my dragons, right? My family are my spirit team that happen to be dragons. Dreams aren't linked to reality. They are based on something on your mind, and how do you know dragon behavior? These are great questions, Gabino. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining the live. No, I'm really loving these questions. Okay. So yes, we talk a lot about how here on the channel, dreams are how we actually process our experiences in life and how we process the information that we learn in our day-to-day waking reality, right? So you can essentially build your own dreams, right? And we're very aware of this on this channel, right? But something that we really experience as dragonkin specifically, that like separates us from furries, if you will, is that like we experience dragon-like behavior ever since we were a kid, right? So like we experience, like the best way I can explain it is like people relate them to reptiles or raptor birds, for example. But again, like we also base it off of mythology too. So a lot of these people will identify with certain like ways of being, like archetypes, the best way that I could explain it, to be honest with you. And they will really relate to these archetypes, these types of behaviors, these elemental energies, these expressions that are very dragon-like. And they have no idea where it comes from as a kid. It's just naturally innate in their behavior, right? So like this is something that when we as adults or as teenagers and we learn, you know, it's just really just something like that, you know what I mean? But you're more than welcome to believe whatever you'd like about it. I'm not basing my life off a movie, because like I'm not like trying to live a fantasy. I'm very much doing what I do to be here right now. Like it's all about being embodied in who we are, right? That's why we work with dragons as dragon witches. And this is something that I tell people is really important, to use your discernment, especially when you're watching content about dragon witches or dragon magic or dragon souls or dragon kin or anything like that, is because like it's all about like they base it on these concepts that are completely made up in their own heads. Do you know what I mean? It's like completely made up in their own heads. And they will go into these meditations, and whatever their imaginations just comes and creates for them, that's what they think is like spiritually happening for them. Or that's what they think is like astral projection. And it's not. That's not what that is, okay? Like that is more closely to maladaptive daydreaming, right? What do you mean you work with dragons? So the way that I work with dragons is they are spiritual entities, the way that some people might work with angels or might work with demons, for example. They're simply just another spirit. Some people experience visits from their ancestors, for example. This is just a different type of spirit, right? The way I work with them is that I talk to them, I meditate with them, I follow their visions, I get dreams from them. And there's just many different ways that I engage with them, or I'll ask them for signs and then I'll see the signs in reality. And this is just a way that I choose to navigate, right? Like this is something that like not everybody is like gonna understand or relate to. Like I'm simply here to just show you like, hey, I'm a girl who follows her dragons. Like you could do that too if you want, you know? Or you could just, hey, you know, be entertained, you know what I mean? Like I'm first and foremost, you know, what I do here is for entertainment purposes only. Cause like I'm an entertainer at the end of the day, but I'm also trying to educate you on the history and mythology and awesomeness of magic and dragons. Hello, because duh. How do I reconnect with my own dragon spirit? The best way to do that, my friend 55 Mild, thank you for your question, by the way, is to literally focus on like the beating of your heart. I'm hearing like when you meditate, like just try and hear your heartbeat, because our heartbeat is really what also connects us to our dragons, you know, like that is, I mean, any spiritual entity. This is how I personally connect, you know what I mean? But like, do you pray as a dragon? Yes, I actually do pray to God. I know that might really like, really might confuse people. BR, I mean, I could argue that we never existed either, because apparently we're all just a holographic projection. Surprise! Thank you, CIA, for telling us. But anyway, the best way to reconnect with your own dragon self is to first literally resonate and tap into the beating of your own heart. And then second is to tap into that gratitude and really feel that gratitude of being with you and your heartbeat. And then after this, if you want to connect with your dragon self again, if you've either lost yourself on that path or you want to learn how to strengthen that connection or see if it is something for you, thank you for the tiny, I appreciate it. Then you're going to remember any experiences that you already have had being connected to your dragon self, or anything about dragons that really have like made you feel a sense of awe or wonder. A lot of us really feel like super connected to dragons ever since we were children, and that's exactly like where they're mostly from, you know, like the dragons and the mythical creatures love connecting with the kids the most because they have the most open minds. Any tips for working with worshiping draconic Gaia? Honestly, the best thing that I can do is believe that it's possible. Is it Closet Nerd? Thank you for asking. That's a really good question. Like, you know, I work with draconic personas of deities. So any of the deities that I do channeled messages for over on my TikTok, if you're watching on YouTube, any of those deities, hopefully I'll be able to post them to YouTube now, actually, because YouTube literally just allowed us to offer, I think, 3-minute shorts now. Thank goodness. But these channeled messages, when I work with these goddesses like Hecate, for example, like I don't see Hecate as like a humanoid goddess. She comes to me as a dragon, and all of the deities do, like even the ones that are considered dragon slayers. I know that might be really confusing to some people, but they're just considered dragon forms, right? Like a draconic form. Like, and we could go into like the technicalities of like what makes a real dragon, and maybe that will actually be a really good video to just kind of like, you know, talk about. But like the best tip is, one, believe it's possible and tap into, you know, your presence of your heartbeat with gratitude, knowing that it is possible, and get excited, because if you believe in something and you believe in something hard enough, anything is real. And that's something that I also want to remind people who are skeptical of this kind of practice, right? Or who think that maybe, you know, I just like belong in a loony bin. Like, that's totally valid. Like I'm not here to like debate you on that. Like I don't, just so you know, belong in one, otherwise I would be. But like, you know, the doctor said I'm fine, so please relax yourselves. But like, I digress. The only thing is, like, I offer this as like a devil's advocate to people who think like being dragonkin, like believing that you're a dragon spirit having a human experience, or for those of you guys who don't think like dragons are real and you can't work with them, right? Like, here's the thing, like the funny thing about beliefs is that like the second you believe something is real, like no one can tell you that it's not. And if I experience something a certain way and I see it as something when maybe it might have been something else, like you could argue that like I saw something that wasn't real. But if I believe in it and it makes a difference in my life in a positive way, and it uplifts me and it changes my life in all aspects, that helps me make more money, make more friends, be healthier, more social, eat better, sleep better, not do stupid drugs, like these are tangible results for me in my practice that some people might say is God, or some people might say is Jesus, for example. Everybody's able to have that experience. I'm only here to offer you an alternative perspective, right? Like, I'm just a girl who follows her dragons, singing songs along the way. And like, I do what I do because they tell me to. Like, everything that I do is because the dragons tell me to do this, and that has been my life, my whole life. They've always told me to follow a certain path, and when I do not follow the path that the dragons tell me to, well, guess what? I literally end up in the horrible situations, and I regret not following their advice. But when I do listen to what the dragons tell me to do, guess what? I get all of the blessed opportunities. I literally get so successful. I meet the best, most incredible people, and that is really amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm Christian, and I'm not saying dragons aren't real, because they are in the Bible. Gabino. That's exactly my point. That is exactly my point, because you know, dragons exist in mythology everywhere, and I'd like to remind people that mythology is literally more of a symbolic story than history. If it was history, it'd be history. Do you guys understand? Like, this is really important to understand. Okay, this is the difference between like what makes something like a history, what makes something mythology, right? Like history, we can like literally prove that it is real. You know what I mean? Mythology is something that's more symbolic that we can't necessarily prove that is real. Do you know what I mean? Are you seeing dragons right now? No, Nebula, I'm not. I mean, unless you can see me. I mean, I'm a dragon, so if I could see me, then that means I am seeing dragons. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna have to rethink my whole life and get back to you, Nebula. Thank you for your question. I don't know if I'm able to answer that one. That's difficult. Thanks, Draconic Vulva, for joining. It's so good to see you. We can't make anyone be open-minded. That is very true, Rebel Child Witchery. We're just here to, they have found a dragon fossil. Yes, I've heard of that. How do you say your name? Is it Elenixtra? Is that Elenixtra? Is that how you say your name? Yes, I did see the dragon fossils. Super exciting, but I could have told you that they were real first. Is too open-minded not too dangerous? BR, that's a great question. This is something that, oh, thanks for the follow, Spiritual Sunshine. Here's the thing, you guys. When it comes to open-mindedness, there's a very tricky slope to walk with if you entertain certain people's ideas. And there's a certain type of open-mindedness that I think is dangerous, but there's like always like the operation going on, at least on this channel, and what I advocate for is to operate based on science first. You know what I mean? And for those of you guys who might not believe in people having dragon identities, there's actually scientific precedent in this when it comes to the study of dissociative identity disorders, or OSDD. These are like personality disorders that were used to be classified as like multiple personality disorder, but now are considered dissociative disorders. And so there is scientific precedent to people having like non-human alters, right? So there's just like so much that we don't know, and the only reason why we have even come as far as we have is because not mental health problems. Dustin, relax. But like there's so many things that like we don't understand, and that's why we have to hypothesize, and that's why we have to keep questioning things, because like the only reason why we have the current understanding of science that we do is because we've, you know, tested things and we have tried over and over again to replicate results, and you know, try different hypotheses and stuff like that. Like they're teaching the Big Bang as if it's fact, right? But it's still called the Big Bang Theory. And that's because we don't know if it's true. We weren't there. We don't know how it came to be. You know what I mean? So it's just really important to think of that. Where do you draw the line of open-mindedness? YouTube isn't working. What do you mean? Is it still not working? Hold on, guys. You guys can be whatever you'd like in these comments. Have whatever opinions you'd like. It's totally fine. Sorry, just gotta have the chapstick, my friends. But anyway. Yes, I was there for the founding, but haven't been on in years. Oh my god, no way! Wait, oh my god, AZURA, it's Star Drop from Amino! Hello? Did you know? Dude, wait a minute. Bestie, can you please join the Hatchling Clan Discord server? We have to talk. Like, it's been so long. Should I call you Ashley now? Will you please just click the link in my bio, okay? Please. Click the link that says connect with Akate to join the Hatchling Clan Discord server. Oh my gosh, please. You have no, oh my gosh. We literally have an always the ad memes chat there. Please, I have to have you. We have to have you. It'll be so good. There's a Discord server now. Yes, please help. Sorry, we're having, for those of you guys who are on YouTube, sorry. One of the old, like OG, literally one of the founding leaders of the Hatchling Clan Amino just popped in on TikTok live. I'm literally losing my marbles right now. Yo, we evolved. Yes, we did. Closet nerd. Yeah, so like, I hope that the link is working. We had an issue last time I streamed where the link wasn't working. But if it doesn't, click the link in my link tree that says connect with Hecate. That should take you to the Hecate channel in the Discord, please. We have to have you there. It would be the greatest thing ever. Okay. Hi, Linda Rainbow, good to see you. We're doing great. We are doing great, my darling. I hope you are doing well. Discipline yourself, study the stuff like the Indiana Jones would. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Experience will come. Yes, Brian, which by the way, welcome back to your daily dose of Dragonfeather. That is absolutely so important. And I think what you mean by like stuff that Indiana Jones would is like study the ancient texts, okay? Study the mythologies, study the legends, the myths, the lore, okay? Like you need to understand that these are myths for a reason. These are like human stories. Sometimes they are history remembered by humanity in a little different way. But usually what mythology is simply collective wisdom that we have grown over the years that have evolved into stories of their own that we pass down to each other, so we remember our story, you know what I mean? So it's really important, do you know what I mean, to kind of understand that. Oh my god, I've literally been thinking about unicorns so much lately, so the dots are connecting. Oh my gosh, Ashley, I'm so excited. We're gonna have a Unicoven Discord soon this year, but are you still a part of the Theron Alter Human community? Yes, Arya, yes, I do Dragonkin content. We've been, you know, just pumping it out again because I have been like popped off a little bit, you know what I mean? Like I ditched this channel for like 3 years. I'm so serious. It was really sad. But like, we're back, you know, the year of the dragon brought me back, of course. How could I not come back for the year of the dragon? So we're just talking about dragons tonight, Luna. We're just talking about dragon witches, and you guys are able to ask me any questions about being a dragon witch tonight. I'm so sorry, Closet Nerd. It should be in my link tree that says, what's the word? It should be in the link tree that says follow or connect with Hecate. Like there was just some issues going on. I wonder if I could like, it's gonna, okay, how, okay. I don't know, I'm trying to, but I don't want to like end the live on accident. That would be very sad. But yeah, Elvie just dropped the link in the chat. Thank you so much, Elvie, you're so sweet. But anyway, thank you. That was a little, I just got a little too hyped. But yes, we are still Dragonkin on this channel. We were talking a little bit more about it earlier on this live, but we also talk about it in the Hatchling clan too. If you guys are interested, or if you guys are, you know, like dragons or Dragonkin and you want to find community, we got a bunch of us over there. It's super fun. But I can't believe that you just jumped in, Ashley. That's amazing. Welcome back. It's super good to see you. Hi, Chakra Healing. Good to see you. Myths and beliefs are meant to answer unanswerable questions. That's why science exists now, in my opinion. That's totally valid. Are you from Dragon Tales? Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales. Let's all go to Dragon Tales. Someone now take my hand. Let's all go to Dragon Land. That was a lot. Okay, Chakra Healing. I don't know what just happened. Something just overtook me. Yes. Dragon Tales is my whole life. Oh my god. Are my messages hidden? No, I see you, Sam. I'm surprised the FYP brought me back, but excited. No, that's crazy, man. Like, okay, but this is like what I've been really trying to like do here on TikTok recently, because like I'm like new to TikTok, right? Like I've had my TikTok account since like 2020, but I haven't like been a creator until like today, basically. But yeah, okay, cool, sick. That sounds good. Star drop. Ashley. Ashley. Sorry, I'm just way too excited. Yeah, I'm like, the stimming is happening and it's a little hard to control. I was just watching your vid from 6 years ago. LMAO, no way! Dude, welcome back to your daily dose of Dragon Feather. If you guys would like to hang out, don't forget to join the Hatchling clan Discord. Trust me, it's a good time. You don't want to miss out. We have memes. I literally create memes, okay? Like, I don't mean to brag, but my pickle memes are pretty top of the notch because I have a dragon guardian named Pickle Chips telling me the memes he wants me to make as offerings to him. Oof, it's crazy out here, you know? But anyway, it is wild child, wild child. I think Brian, they left, the person left. How do you perceive dragons? Like, do you hear sounds, etc.? I perceive some higher entities too. So curious. Chakra healing, that's amazing questions. The way that I experience every dragon in my practice is different. A lot of them are mostly similar. Most of them do not speak to me in English, if you will. I will hear essentially like the best way that I could say it is like a knowing. That's the only way I can really describe it. Like how thanks for the follow, Luna. The only way that I can describe it is like, it's just a knowing, you know what I mean? Like the difference is like an idea that I'll have. I'll try and do my best to like paint how I know it's a dragon. So when I communicate with them and the way that I like hear them is a knowing in the sense that it's like a thought that I have is not gonna be like the same. It's gonna change or I'm gonna improve upon an idea, right? That's just normal for humans to do. So the idea will be like the dragon guardian is telling me to, you know, break up with my ex, for example. But like break up with this way or break up like at this time or whatever. But like the knowing that comes from the guardian is you need to sever your ties. That is like the download in English I'll get, if you will, to use like the best terms that I know for describing this. And my thoughts around that will be like, oh, well, how do I do that? Maybe not today. Like, okay, I know I need to end my relationship with this person, but like how and like when and like why and like that's me, right? But the knowing is you need to sever these ties came from my guardian and never changed, no matter how many times I asked, right? Like this is how I decipher between like clairaudience of like hearing my dragons like speak to me. I'm using quotations because it's not really like that. Like I said, it's like I don't hear it. It's just like a knowing. It's like I'm trying my best. But then have you seen How to Train Your Dragon? Yes, of course, Sam. Yes, of course. But Justin, I hate scary movies. Yay! As soon as I'm off the live, I will be in the Hatchling Clan Discord server hyping up the chat, okay? We're gonna have a really good time, all right? We're gonna talk all about dragons, have a really good catch up. It's gonna be a good time. Can't wait, brother, sister, friends. But yeah, so that's how I hear them, right? It's like a knowing. But then like when it comes to seeing them, it's like, it's a difference between like I almost see like energy blurs like with my physical eyes, but like in my like third eye or in my like psychic sense, if you will. Sorry, TikTok's asking me if I'm a robot. All right, we're back. Okay, we're back. But like in a psychic sense, you know what I mean? Like the best way that I can like describe it is like my imagination fills in the gaps of what like I'm picking up with the rest of my senses as best as I can. But that's the best way I can describe that. I might stay with witchcraft, but I'll probably check out dragons. Yeah, this is why I talk to people. I know. Guillermo Blanco, I know. You guys should totally take a shot every time I say the word like. You will literally be in the hospital. It's really bad. But like this is why like if you don't want to enjoy the live likes that I edit out for your pleasure, You know what I mean? Just watch my regular videos or just watch my like short form videos and you do not have to deal with the likes. You know what I mean? But you can leave the likes. See what I did there? Anyway, I know. It's like a problem, but I digress. It says, you know, working with dragons is very much an advanced practice. This is what I try to tell people. Like when people are like, oh, I'm interested in working with like dragon magic. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Do you have any practice with any magic at all? Do you have any knowledge of dragons from anything mythological? Like, what do you know? Because like, we need to have a talk about this honestly, because like dragons, there's a certain type of like, way that dragon magic breaks people's brains when they're not ready for it. Like, it's absolutely some of the most sad spiritual psychosis cases I've ever seen in my entire career. And I just really need people to understand like how serious this can go wrong, right? Which is why I say like this is an advanced practice. I've been saying this since I was a literal child, practicing this when I shouldn't have been practicing dragon magic. At 13, that was not a good idea. Who let me? It's okay. That's just what happens. But you know, it's just kind of a thing. So I'm just like, just let's do our best to like not take this too seriously, right? Because like, here's the thing, a lot of people do work with dragons just as symbols too. You know, like you don't have to believe they're real to work with dragons, right? We have plenty of people who literally just work with the symbolism of dragons, and that's amazing. There's so many ways to work with dragons and dragon magic, you know? AZURA, goddess Aphrodite, physically visited me before in my backyard, and I so badly want to see her again. Well, that sounds absolutely enchanting. That is absolutely. Are dragons chaotic? Some are, yes. Some are not. It really just depends. I'm trying to catch up with this chat. I don't know, man. The chat's pretty chill. Why do you look like Maleficent? I get that a lot when I wear this hat actually. And I also get told I look a lot like Angelina Jolie when I don't wear the hat, so maybe that's it. I don't know, Gabina, I'm trying. I'm just Michael in the bathroom at a party. Peanut butter on toast. That might have been the most fun comment to read of the night, so thank you for that entertainment. I hope that being Michael in the bathroom at a party isn't too bad today. I hope it's not too terrible. I believe in the dragon green magic is true. Absolutely. You know, dragons can work with any type of witchcraft in that sense too. Like if you are a green witch, for example, you can work with earth dragons or flower dragons or crystal dragons or tree dragons, like, you know, lit or sand dragons. There's so many kinds, right? Like it's your imagination that's the limitation. And this is kind of like what I try to advocate for when people work with mythical creatures within their like witchcraft, because a lot of people practice witchcraft, okay? But not a lot of people work with witchcraft, but like also work with like mythical creatures such as like dragons and like fairies and like unicorns. Do you know what I mean? Can I ask my last question? Of course we are. I believe the dragon in the Bible is real. Yes, me too, my friend. Go read Aragon, kiddo. Dude, loved them. You should read them too if you have not already. Thank you for the roses, Scream Queen. That is so sweet. I have gnomes in my backyard and they're so cute. Kate, I love gnomes. I have one on my desk. Hold on, I have to show you now. You have to come. Here he is. His name's Bunny. I'm sure you can't tell why. I love him. He's so cute. Gnomes are so special. He's so squishy. Do you want a question, Ardera? I will pull one for you. We're going to answer a question real quick. How can I embody or tap into more Lilith energy? Love it. Love the question. Love the question. We are gonna find out. Oh, there we go. It says, here we go, Ardera. Oh, Odera? I'm pretty sure that's how you say your name. If I remember correctly. It says, bring out your more Lilith energy by taking those opportunities. You will prove yourself and discover if you brave the rough seas. You got to do things that scare you, okay? Do one thing a day that scares the hell out of you. That's how we tap into Lilith energy. Travel, seeing the surface of the ocean is not the same as diving deep to see the coral. You need to explore not only within yourself, but without of yourself, even if that means just going on a walk, you know? It's really that simple to tap in with Lilith. Do things that scare you and explore your reality like you're fearless, even if you're not. Sometimes we have to do things when we're afraid, and that's kind of the idea. But I don't know, I just felt called to answer that question. It was a pretty good one. Hey Apollo, welcome to your daily dose of dragon feather. The horns suit you. Thank you. I hope you like the horns. We're just having fun today. Do you know what I mean? Having good fun with some good friends. That's the way it works. That's the way it is. Azura, your real name, if so very unique. I like it. Why, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. It says, oh yes, of course. Thanks for letting me read with you. Or read for you, I should say. But yeah, you guys, like, when it comes to the dragons and it comes to working with dragons, like, you guys have a lot of really valid questions in this chat about how does this work? This isn't real. Like, you know, dragons don't exist. There's no proof, yada, yada, yada. That's totally awesome. I love these questions. But you also have to understand that that's a great way to not work with dragons, you know? Dragons work in the way that anything in a spiritual practice does. You have to have faith in them. You have to believe in them, or they're not real. That's the way it is. That's kind of what makes it a spiritual practice. That's what makes it faith-based. That's what makes it religious in a sense, right? Like, that's why it's really kind of like something that's there for those who need it. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyone can work with dragons. Everybody deserves dragons, right? But not everybody wants to work with dragons, and not everybody thinks that you can, and that's totally valid. Like, you are entitled to the way that you believe. You know what I mean? Dragons are real. Why y'all think the Welsh folks got it on their flag? Exactly. Thank you, All Cave. Like that. Am I saying your name right? It's kind of hard to read it. But like, that's kind of like the whole point is like, when you really look back into mythology, when you really like keep doing like your research, you'll see that like religions kind of evolve from each other. And like, some pantheons can be traced back to older pantheons that can be traced back to older pantheons and gods and stories. And honestly, if you look at all of the religions and the way that I love to study world religion and spiritual practices, like, you'll not only find dragons everywhere and mythology where, you know, cultures never could have known each other. This is the whole reason why I believed they were real as a kid. I was like, you can't tell me they're not real when all these ancient cultures that had no way of communicating or interacting with each other had dragon myths. Like, it just, how unless they're real, you know? And so that kind of like what started me on this journey of discovering like if dragons were real, if magic was real. And that's why I started this channel when I was like literally 12. We just had our 13-year anniversary, you know, on this channel, which you do the math, like we've been here for a minute. And like, it's just been a really exciting like experience and journey to go through, because like part of the experience has been through learning with you guys and, you know, building this community of the Hatchling clan together. Like, we have discovered dragons together, like, over the years. Like, this is something that's like really incredibly important for people, especially the people who are new or who might not know like what we do here on this channel. Like I literally am just a girl who follows her dragons, and I'm sharing that journey with you. And we together have just created so much magic and so much like, you know, like community around the love that we have for dragons. But it's like all dragons, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like the Western ones that you guys think, like, if it doesn't breathe fire and it doesn't have like 2 wings and 4 legs, it's not a dragon. Like, no, historically dragons are more serpent-like and water-based. So that's just something that's also like a huge part of, I think, what people forget as well, is just like the evolution of mythology and the evolution of like, what's the word, like the evolution of just like how religion and spiritualities like evolve over cultures. Like, that's something that people can't forget when it comes to things like what people believe today. Like, even people who believe in God, right? Like, you know, like, I'm also a witch who believes in God, but it's like not everybody believes in God. And like, everybody is able to believe in what they want to, and like when we start trying to dictate what people do and do not believe and what they can and cannot believe, that's when people get really hurt and sometimes even lose their lives and even lose their land and lose their families and awful things, you know what I mean? So it's more important for me to really just kind of remind people that like a lot of these practices with dragons are very ancient and they're only being remembered within the last few decades, you know, because of the internet, thankfully, you know. And people can interact with dragons in any way that they want to. They can believe that they're real, they can believe that they're not real, but you can't deny that dragons exist because everybody knows what a dragon is. It's just a part of the human experience. And that has also been really curious to me too. And these facts are very compelling to dragon witches. And you'll find within the dragon witch community that like witches who have this love for dragons have this crossover with this mythology, and you'll find in a lot of the pantheons that you work with today, like the Egyptian pantheon or the Greek pantheon or the Norse pantheon or the Celtic pantheon, or you name it, honestly, like they already have dragon gods in their myths. Some of them are so scary and powerful they don't even want you to speak their names, right? Like there's so much that goes into what makes a dragon witch that a lot of people might just look at it and see this girl thinks that she's Daenerys Targaryen from House of the Dragon. And you know what? Like I said, you guys are totally valid to have your opinions, right? The only thing is that that's what it might look like at face value. But the reality is when you really dive into this stuff and you really like dive into the history and the mythology of witchcraft and magic, and in tandem with witches, like you'll find so many crossovers with things like druidry, with things like chaos magic, with things like alchemy. Like it's everywhere. Like dragons are so, so important. May you ask the mermaids if I am a dragon witch. You do not have to, though. No, I think that's a great question. Thank you for letting me read for you, Neptune. That's a very, very bold question. I might not be able to know for sure, right? Because ultimately only you will know if you're a dragon witch. But let's see. Oh, that was pretty. Yeah. It says safety, my friend. It says don't be too proud to go back to shore. It says like you can be a dragon witch if you want to be. You just have to start practicing the magic. And if you are too afraid to work with dragons, well, don't be too proud to try again. Like working with dragons is not something that happens overnight, and I think that people forget that. They'll be scrolling through TikTok, see some videos about like witchcraft with dragons, and then they'll think that they're a dragon witch the next day or that very same second, or they'll think that actually, in most cases, in my experience, they'll think that they always have been. They'll think that they always have been a dragon witch. And like, while that's like really, really like a precious sentiment, like it's very sentimental to have that belief, and I totally can understand why some people would want or identify that way. It's just really dangerous to assume that you've already been practicing something that's such an ancient form of magic that is very advanced in the sense that it was only passed down through oral tradition and initiation, making it essentially a closed practice historically, and one that we only really have access to now because of the internet and like how easy it is to gain information, but also not necessarily good information. It's just really good to be careful, you know? But I just really want people to take that safety, you know, step and realize that ultimately what determines you being a dragon witch is your like consistency and connecting with the dragons. And it's only a spell. Like magic is only magic and a spell is only a spell unless you have dragons. Like that's what makes it dragon magic. Like that's what makes you a dragon witch, is a witch with dragons, you know? Like yes, I identify as dragonkin, but being dragonkin and a witch doesn't make me a dragon witch. Like that makes me a witch who is dragonkin, like, or a dragonkin witch. It's not like I'm practicing dragon magic. It's not like I am like working with dragon guardians, like necessarily. So that is kind of like where I'm coming from, if that makes sense. In the terms of like what really makes a dragon witch, and I just kind of wanted to hop on here and talk about it a little bit more and answer some questions that you guys have about dragons. I call myself a hatchling witch because I'm still learning a lot. Rebel child witchery, I love that. Hashtag hatchling witch, you guys. Hashtag hatchling witch. So you are half dragon, half witch, ADF? Dun, 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 dun. That's a great question, Brian. Brian, the world may never know, actually. But I see where you're going with that. But where did these ancient stories of magical mystical beasts come from? There has to be some facts to it. That's what I think too, my friend. It is very compelling, and I still don't have the answer. Thank you. I understand. You are so kind, and thank you for reading for me. Of course, Neptune. It was my pleasure. Okay, it's bedtime for me. Bye-bye. See you soon. I will be chatting with you soon. I hope you have made it to the Hatchling clan, and if you did and I missed it, that is very exciting. I will be there soon to chat with you guys. Are you a Wiccan? Yes. Technically a Draconic Wiccan. We have plenty of videos on this channel about Draconic Wicca, which is like a practice that, like, when I was very young, I like made videos about Draconic Wicca. I had this book from an author called DJ Conway, and I was like literally a child, okay? Like I was like, what, like 14? Help. I was so young. I was so young. And I used this book to kind of like put dragons into my Wicca with the help of my dragon guardian Monte. And that's how we got Draconic Wicca. We kind of created it together, you guys. It's pretty amazing. But like, there's so many people who just kind of like naturally were Wiccan and who have been Wiccan who are just like, yeah, let me put dragons into this. Like, it's just a very natural like next step for people who are witches or Wiccans who like love dragons. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. If you want to learn more about Draconic Wicca, join the Hatchling Clan Discord server. It is linked on this channel in the description, my friend. First link in the description here on the YouTube, and it is the link called Connect with Akate in my link tree. We are still working on getting the link up, but it is definitely available on YouTube. Why TikTok gives me issues with links, I'll never understand. I'll never understand. Hopefully it gets better soon. Hopefully it gets better soon. But anyway, I could make a weird looking dinosaur. The fact people could believe in it years later. I mean, you know, some could argue that the dinosaurs were a type of dragon, right? Like they were a type of earth dragon or water dragon or air dragon, depending on who you talk to. So it is what it is, you know? Have a good night, my friends. Welcome to the live. Thank you for the gift. You guys are so sweet. I work with the Fae and Kitsune. Wonderful creatures. I love Kitsune. They are so, so sweet and precious. It says, also, to backtrack, I've noticed a similar thing with Fairykin being an actual fairy witch, with like being correlated but not automatically co-occurring. LOL. Yes, you're absolutely right. Shubuz, is that how you say your name? Yeah, like there's a lot of overlap with people who are like fairykin or like, you know, dragonkin, and also like fairy witches and dragon witches, but they're not like mutually exclusive. Like it's just a very common like overlap, if that makes sense. Like dragons? Yes, like dragons. But but you said take knowledge from things you have seen to create it, right? So technically it's half true. I think I'm missing context of these common conversations. What the fluff, cat addict? We love cats here. Welcome to your daily dose of dragon feather. Sarah, I don't mean to interrupt, but if your energy allows, may you please ask the mermaids how I may manifest more romantic love into my life? Sure. I don't see why not, my love. Mermaids, how can Robin have more romantic love into her life? Ooh, let's see. Explore. Maps show what has already been discovered. Go another way. Yeah, you gotta start doing new things in love. Like how you've met people in the past, you can't do that again. That's just gonna be like, how can you do the same things over and over again and like expect different results? They're telling me to look at the bottom of the deck too. It says journey. Half the treasure is the journey on the path to finding it. Yeah, like don't put so much value on like the relationship itself. Like put the value on the experience that you have with like your potential partner, because like the really important thing to like remember when it comes to love is it's not like about idolizing a partner, like, or idolizing how someone can save us, or like idolizing like how, you know, they're perfect in every way and like we don't have to like really lift a finger kind of vibes. Like, having the kind of love that people really truly want and are searching and need in their lives is one that comes from like a deep desire for connection, and that is built through like realistic expectations that are grounded in humane, like, you know, just humane, reasonable things that could be expected. Like, somebody can't just fix you all your problems, someone can't just understand every part of you, like someone just can't play every single role for you in your life. Like, that's not real life. Like, you have to understand that people who, like anyone, and it could be you and it could be your partner and it could be you both, like the second people start like expecting certain things from a partnership, or like idolizing them in a certain way of what they're supposed to be for you, like that's when we start hurting like our partners and hurting ourselves. But like, it's just about doing things in a different way, right? It's about going and taking that journey and trying new things, because like you've already experienced like what you have and it hasn't been the best, you know, but like it could be better, and you want to have something that's a new experience. So you have to get there in a new way. Like, you can't do the same things you've been doing over and over. That doesn't make any sense for a new experience. So I hope that helps. Thanks for letting me read for you. If I may ask, why a dragon? Yeah, story of my life, huh? It's just always been dragons. You know, like ever since I was a little kid, like it's just always been dragons. Like I don't even know what to say other than always the dragons. Do you know what I mean? Okay, it's bedtime for me. It says, thank you, AZURA. I've been contemplating this question and I'm so grateful for your help. Dude, thank you so much, Robin, for letting me and the mermaids read for you. I like really appreciate it. It's honestly like really, really fun to try and offer some different perspectives, because like that's why I tell people my readings are at the end of the day for entertainment purposes only. And like I think people forget that that's legally required to say. Like, anybody who's doing these like readings online or doing like tarot or divination, like, and they don't disclaim that it's for entertainment purposes, are likely breaking the law. Wow, I know, that's awkward. It really is. So that's why we disclose that at the end of the day, this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. I'm just trying to do my best to offer you guys some advice, different perspectives, or maybe just a different way of thinking about the same issue. And that's just kind of like why I do what I do. We're always just trying to help offer a different perspective. And the dragons, well, I guess, why not dragons? You know what I mean? Is death any different for you? I mean, see, I believe in God, so like this is where my belief system gets complicated compared to like other dragon witches. Like, you really have to like ask dragon witches basically what they think happens, but like I believe that like I'll be resurrected, right? Like, I'm gonna die and then I'll be resurrected and go to either heaven or hell. Like, I know that's a lot. I know that's a lot. Like, we are not ready for that conversation, chat. Like, we'll get there. We'll get there. But like, it's just everybody has like different beliefs, right? Like, everybody can believe different things, and I think that's the beauty of this reality, right? Like, if like God or the universe or your dragons or the higher powers or the deities wanted the earth to be any other way, or wanted religion to be any other way, it would have been. Like, you're able to have free will to choose and explore what you do. And that's actually one of the most beautiful, beautiful things that I think is part of what makes us human. Like, I mean, we do kind of see some sort of religious activity with like elephants, but not in the way that we do with humans, okay? Like, humans have like entire belief systems and like languages and like symbols and sigils sometimes like dedicated towards like a religious perspective. And I think that's what's incredibly important to remember when it comes to the human experience, right? Because at the end of the day, one thing we all share, yes, I am a human, I'm about to tell you, white chocolate, that at the end of the day, the one thing that we all share is like being human, right? This is a human experience, and this is part of being human, right? Like, it's always been part of being a human to believe things that are unbelievable. Like that's like literally the whole point of it. You know? But like there's nothing wrong with being grounded in reality, and I think that that is something that's kind of not hitting the For You page anymore, you know what I mean? I'm a real dragon witch, you be posing. Aw, white chocolate. Is that why you don't have a profile picture? Anyway, I just want, oh, thanks for the follow, my friends. But I just want you guys to understand that like dragons present themselves differently to everybody. And it really depends on the context of what you're doing with dragons, how you're working with dragons, how do you believe in dragons, how do you perceive them. That's really critical when it comes to what makes dragon witches dragon witches. And this is why I can't really like label dragon witches in one like belief system or one like title ranking system or, you know, one umbrella term, because like we all believe and work with dragons so differently that like some of us, like I said, don't even believe like dragons are real. We like just believe in like the symbolism that is, it's powerful, right? Like we just work with the symbolism of dragons being incredibly powerful. Hi little wolf, how are you doing? I am doing great, thank you for asking. But the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that it's like this is what makes dragons different from like anything else within mythology, is because like they do exist like in a way not only in the human psyche. Dragons have always just brought humanity such awe and fear and wonder, and have been historically a symbol of power and like also like the devil and like good things, absolute good things and absolute bad things. Like one thing has never been up for debate is that the dragon symbolism or what they represent is power and wisdom and being able to be the gatekeepers between worlds and shape-shifting energy and magic and all of this. And this is what we tap into when we're dragon witches. And some people believe and some people do not believe. And that is also what separates us from being sometimes just a regular witch from being a dragon witch. So this is kind of what I wanted to share on today's episode. You guys have had some fantastic questions. I've had so much fun answering them. They have been very clever. I really do enjoy them, honestly. It is getting quite late. There is very, very, very much wind outside. It's actually very spooky. So if the power goes out and I disappear, like before I say goodbye, that would be why. But I am going to do some star dragon readings. But here we go. Ah, but dragon witches are better. But here we go. Let's try. I think you guys might need some messages from the star dragons. At least I know I do, and the collective definitely does. Oh, the crow, if you do not like the likes, just leave the likes and go. Thank you very much, sir. OMG, the iconic Batman hat. Get the Dippin' Dots. Thank you for joining the live. Or it's a goat, but it's like iconic, dude. I don't know what anyone, like I got Maleficent tonight as well, and I got buffalo and bison. There's a lot, man. We don't know, but the horns are back. I think it's just to represent all of the horned ones out there, right? All of the horned gods. Do you believe in Jesus? I do, Sam Blair. Peace be upon him. I want that top. It's actually a dress that I got on TikTok. Maybe I should make a video about it. But we're gonna do some little dragon pulls. They are free. So if you would like a free reading, go ahead and simply leave a question in the chat. Raven the Witch asks, will I ever find the right man? Let us find out. That is a really juicy question, and I'm honored that you trust me to pull for you. Let's see, let's see. Let's see, my love. Ooh, that one was aggressive. It says, will I ever find the right man? Ooh, let's find out, my friends. It says 26 protection, finding what's important. Yeah, you will, but you have to find what's important first, my dear. Like, finding what's important can sometimes be really difficult to do, and sometimes be really difficult to sit uninfluenced and isolated enough for you to get in tune with what matters to you most, for you to see what actually is important for you. Like, do you want to have kids? Like, is that what's important for you? Because if you want to have kids, then that's something that has to be the absolute priority when you're looking for a partner. Because if you do not prioritize your future children while you're, looking for your husband, their future father, like, you can really do a big disservice to your, future children. You want to have them in mind already as a family when you're looking for love. And I think people forget that these days. I think people get caught up with how good it feels and how fun it is and how, many likes it can get, and the entertainment industry. I work in the entertainment industry is my day job. And I see a lot of people who make contracts of fake relationships and fake breakups so they can milk views and milk videos and capitalize off of your guys' shipping them. And it's very sad. It's very sad, and I cannot say their names because NDAs, but I can tell you that it happens, it's real, and I might get in trouble for telling you guys this. Like, but I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys. Like, this is what matters when it comes to relationships, is it's prioritizing the family that you're trying to create if you're trying to create a family. And if you're child free and you don't want to create a family in the sense of like a traditional sense or like actually bearing children, like, what do you want to create with your partner together? That's actually the most incredibly important thing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm hearing because, I don't have kids and like I really don't want kids, but let me tell you something. Having a family and being a mother is literally the hardest job on the planet, and I think that people really underappreciate mothers. And that's why, like, when we are dating to find a husband, to have a family, I think it's really important to remember the kids that you want to create in your family because they matter the most, and they deserve to have like the best father possible that you can possibly like, try and find, I guess. Like, but like it also comes with like how we prioritize ourselves too, like what matters to you, how do you want to be treated, like what is important to you. Like for me in my relationships, music is the most important thing. Like music is my child, right? Like, and so like me and my fiance, we work at building, like just working together in the music industry. Like it's incredibly important for like our connection. But like, I'm also going to read the bottom of the deck for you. It says, challenge, standing up for your rights. Yeah, this is just going more off of what I was already saying. Like, you need to assert what's important for yourself in your relationships. And if you come across somebody or a man who you want to be your husband and the future father of your children, if he doesn't meet who you know is meant to be the father of your kids, then you have to have the guts, the gall, and the power to walk away and be like as swift as possible. Like, because that's what matters the most, So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to pop over to YouTube. So if anyone over on YouTube has a question, it says, oh, hi, Tragic Nostalgic. How are you? It says, can I ask if my ex should be a part of my life and should I keep reaching out or do a cord cutting? Ooh. What a very spicy question, Tragic. Thank you for letting me and the dragons read for you today. This is for the best possibility for you, but the future is always changing. This is not a predictive tool, okay? I'm not a predictive reader. I'm not a fortune teller, okay? I am I'm like reading the cards for you introspectively, okay? That means I'm using this to basically get a read on the situation at hand and then formulate the way that might be best moving forward based on what the dragons are pulling forth in the cards. I hope that helps, but it is for entertainment purposes only because I'm supposed to say this. It says, oh, I do the same thing. Yeah, that's awesome. Perfect. Let's see. What do the dragons say? I wonder. One more time instead. Here we go. It says, just to reread your question really quick. Should my ex be a part of my life and should I keep reaching out or do a cord cutting? Ooh, one more time. Yeah, there we go. Help. It says, oh gosh, okay. So here we go, okay? It says 20, returning, going with the flow. This is intense. I'm getting the question, I'm hearing like you gave a very like either or question, and it's not an either or situation, if that makes sense. Like it's something that you kind of have to take one step at a time. Because sometimes it's not a good idea to get back together with an ex, you know, like sometimes it's not, but sometimes it's actually the best thing for you, and it really just depends on your situation, which is why it can't be an either or question. It kind of has to be a going with the flow. If there's returning, go with the flow. If there's no returning, go with the flow. Like if you feel like you should, like cord cut, go with the flow, but here's how you identify how to go with that flow, right? We have resources on the bottom of the deck, meaning that at the end of the day, that's what's most important, okay? How much resources of what you need from somebody is like required. So here's how I'm gonna explain this. For me, I require like, you know, like emotional resources. I require like being open-minded as a resource. I require, you know, a love for music and being a musician as a resource that I require in a partner. That's like what some people would say a standard, right? That's like your standards are like the bottom line minimum resources that you accept, right? But like we also have to understand that like it's not necessarily materialistic. Like sometimes people don't have compassion as a resource, okay? Like I need you guys to really think about this. Like use your brain cells, right? Like what is the resources you need? Somebody that's able to be kind with you when you don't understand why you're super emotional. Do you need somebody who's able to stand up for you in a way that you maybe can't? Do you need people who are able to listen to you and like be just a good listener and believe in you? Or do you need somebody who's like just knows how to comfort you, like without even saying a word? Like that are the resources that you need to focus on. You know what I mean? Like, and only once you focus on what those resources are to you, that's when you're going to know how to go with the flow. Because going with the flow looks different for everybody, and what looks good for me is different for you. So that's why like what works in my life might not work for you. But I think that if you discern what is the most important thing for you to focus on within like a relationship and what matters most to you, that's what's actually going to help you know where to go when it comes to people like your ex or trying to fall in love again. Like it can really be so complicated, but all we need is a little clarity, you know, like, and that comes with discerning what really matters to us. So I hope that that helps, but thank you so much for letting me read for you. I really appreciate it. We're gonna pop back over to the TikTok land. Will Shy and I be involved romantically? Natasha asks. It's a great question. Very juicy question. Thank you for letting me read such a very intense question. Ooh, that's the one. It says destruction, releasing your anger. Yeah, look, okay, so here's the thing. If you really want these people, sorry, this person, you said, what was their name? Will Shy and I be involved romantically? If you want to be involved romantically, you have to address like anger that you like leave in your heart that you kind of like try to like repress a lot, and it just like jumps out at you sometimes. Like sometimes our anger, we think that we're like really mellow people, but sometimes we actually get like triggered easily, or sometimes certain things will make us really angry, or when we do get mad, we don't really know how to process that well. And that can sometimes really be like a blinding factor in identifying like if someone likes you, like how to move through that. Like if someone doesn't like you, how do you even know that, or how are you able to like observe that if you can't even like observe where you stand in a situation? So the way you're gonna like do that destruction and be able to release this anger with intention is by focusing on 12, the self, gathering your power. You need to focus on what matters most to you. Like you need to remember that you're the magnet, right? Like you are like you're the one that like matters the most in this case scenario. Like, I need you to remember how valuable you are, and I need you to invest in yourself more every day than anybody, like including Shy. Like, I need you to like remind yourself that you matter more. Do you know what I mean? In the sense that either you have like a little ritual that you do at the end of the night, or you do something that like makes you feel like happy or giddy every day. Like, something could be different or the same, whatever works best for you. Because it's so important to remember to find a way to release that anger. And sometimes releasing that anger is like through working out. Sometimes it's through video games. Like, sometimes people release their anger through watching sports, and that might look scary to some people, but hey, like, I would rather somebody like go on the computer to like, you know, play some video games and like shoot some people in like Call of Duty or Crunker and like feel better afterwards, rather than them like yelling or like not knowing how to figure it out, you know? Sometimes people really have been through a lot in this life, and it's hard for them to right away try and find a new, better way to cope. And it's about taking baby steps, right? It's about like using things as tools to help us elevate ourselves day by day. And it doesn't have to be an overnight sensation. Like, you don't have to be an overnight success. Like, that doesn't exist. The 24-hour glow up doesn't exist. Like, for any influencer to make a 24-hour glow up, they have to prepare so many days in advance to even pull that off. So this is what I have to remind you today, is that it's only going to work out if you destroy what makes you mad, so you can see clearly what's best for you after you invest in who you are. Like, what makes you happy. Like, that's what's going to bring it in romantically. Like, the fate is in your hands, Natasha. Like, it's up to who you want to be. And like, if you make yourself like the best you can for you, not expecting something for somebody, and they don't want that, like, actually good riddance. You don't deserve that. Trust me, it's better that way. So thank you so much for letting me read for you. I really had a lot of fun, honestly. That was a really good question. We're popping back over to YouTube. We'll do a couple more questions, and then we are going to pop on out of here for the evening. But yes, it says, what deck are you using? You have an idea where you can find reliable books on older draconian magic? Yes, Destruction Reign. We are using the Star Dragon Oracle. If you're interested on more ancient like draconian traditions, please click the link in my bio. Or not my bio, we're on YouTube for you. So the description, say join the Hatchling Clan Discord server. We have all the resources there for you that we can link you after the stream. And it's basically just a way to help you get started and to kind of have a list of resources to avoid as well, kind of like problematic resources to like look out for, and also which ones to pay more attention to. Because a lot of them come from like really ancient cultures, so you have to kind of like cross-reference them with other places too. So we work really hard on doing that, and we're always finding more resources because that's what we do together. Yes, and also the dragons say persistence. That's how we also find reliable books on older draconian magic, because the best way I could describe it is that like the occult is called the occult because it's hidden, and like even people who are genuinely like really good like professionals at what they do, like in their spiritual like content creation here online, and they really do their best to give you really good resources, and they do provide this, a lot of us are still learning every single day too. And it's kind of a study that, you know, you never really stop learning about, which is why you need to be persistent in it. And that's kind of the whole reason why it's called like a practice, right? Because like dragon witches don't consider themselves really religious. They consider themselves like disciplined in a practice, right? Like they would compare themselves more to like a spiritual athlete than, you know, something else. And the sense that like they have to hit training. We have to go train, right? We have to like, you know, hit the books, if you will. Like we have to, you know, practice our, you know, different skills. Some of us, you know, do divination. Some of us do like breath work. Some of us do chaos magic. Some of us do healing magic. Some of us just do really just work hard on the dragon magic. you know? And people do these practices because everyone sees the world differently. Everyone experiences reality a little bit differently. And that's why we have to have the persistence in learning about these mythologies and these historical, like, cultures that they came from, because it matters, you know? Like, dragons are everywhere in mythology throughout history, and that is very compelling evidence, even to scholars. So people who don't even believe in dragons find that compelling. So it's just something that I really like to emphasize in the content that I create, because it's incredibly universal for all the dragon witches that I've met. They're like, how are all of them everywhere? Like, we don't understand. We have to learn more. But I think it's really fun to work with dragons, which is why I just love to share my experience about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm just a girl who follows her dragons, if that makes sense. But yeah, well, the most ancient of magic is the dragon magic, just so you know. I know people might disagree, but I'm telling you, if you really study mythology correctly, you will find the dragons are the oldest of the gods, and the draconian magic is the oldest of the magics. At least in many of my circles, you know, the ones that work with magic. But we also have, oh, thank you, Natasha. That was beautifully said. Thank you so much for the feedback. That actually really means so much. But Clay wants a general reading. Thank you for joining us. I think that's a great question. Let's see. Dragons. Can we get a general message for Clay? Let's find out, my friends. Let's find out. Let's find out, my friends. We're gonna see. They're a little bit interesting today, the dragons. Sometimes they're more like engaging, but today they seem very quiet for some reason. But that is okay. There we go. General reading that I'm getting for you, Clay, is to conquer your demons. Okay. Through effort. Number 7, effort, conquering your demons. This card means, the best way that I can put it is, by conquering your demons, it means overcoming like your weaknesses, like overcoming your shortcomings. Like, you know, what things do you really struggle with? How can you improve upon that? Like, if that means you struggle to like be more positive, that's something that you should work on. Like, why do you struggle with being positive? If you struggle with crying, why do you struggle with being emotional? If you struggle with communication, why might you struggle with communication, for example? Or if you maybe lack confidence, why might that be? Do you feel weak? Why is that?